Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Student Music Network. I'm Laura from Cardiff University's Xpress Radio, and today I have the absolute pleasure of being joined by the insanely talented Katie Gregson-MacLeod. How are you doing today, Katie?
I'm good, thank you. We were jet lagged, but I'm getting over it.
Oh, really?
Lovely to be here.
Where have you been?
We were in New York and LA and back on Sunday evening, and I thought that I had like gotten over the jet lag, and today it hit me. I thought that I was like, this is easy. It's not a problem. And like yesterday I was like really cocky, and then today I'm like, oh, I'm feeling it.
It's hit you by surprise. So for anyone who doesn't know, who is watching, Katie has been taking the world by storm over the past few weeks with her track Complex. You posted like a minute-long segment of it to TikTok less than 2 months ago, and since then it's been like a viral success story. You've released it as a single with Columbia Records, and isn't it like just like in the past couple of days it's hit 10 million streams on Spotify? Like, massive congratulations. Yes. How does it feel to have reached that milestone?
It's insane. I mean, these are like numbers and moments that I never thought I would have, and it's all happened so fast, and it's incredibly surreal but very exciting. And yeah, like hitting 10 million in a month, it's just insane to me. So I'm very happy.
So crazy. So you were doing some like promo in the States. Like how was that for you? It must be like really surreal to be now like traveling all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, that's my first time in the States, so it was like a pretty weird first trip. It was just surreal. But yeah, I did some cool interviews, did like Zach Sang and like Apple Music stuff, and had a great time. I mean, like we did some fun stuff as well. We went to like a Broadway show and like some gigs, so it was like we peppered in some like New York experiences, but it was, yeah, I mean, it was so fun. And it's quite funny, like you never know how like Highland vibes are going to translate in America, but we had a great time. Like, it was so fun.
Fun. So yeah, obviously, like we're talking about like your new track Complex. I absolutely love it. Like, it's so like beautifully captivating, like piano ballad full of so much like heartbreak and like unrequited love, and just like so relatable. Did it like take you quite a while to write this song, or was it just kind of like in like one night? Or
yeah, it was like one evening. It was actually, I wrote the song like 3 days or 4 days before I put it online. So it was like literally like early August, late July that I wrote the song. And yeah, I mean, it was a very quick write. It's just one of those moments where you just strike the right chord and it just kind of like pours out, which was it's a nice thing. It doesn't always happen like that, but it did this time. And but yeah, it was a quick write, but like I'd written the whole song before putting the video up. So when everything happened, I was kind of like, I kind of promised myself I wouldn't change too much of it.
Yeah.
You know, because I could start writing reactively, and like I didn't want to kind of like change the essence of the song, which was just like this incredibly raw moment. So yeah, it just kind of like hit the right moment at the right time, and it's great.
I think that's like what's so special about it, is that it was obviously you just like so raw, like literally just uploading it to TikTok, like didn't expect this, and it's, I guess, was it so personal to you? So
yeah, it was like, sorry, what was that?
I was gonna say it's so personal to you, and it's kind of nice that like the rest of the world who's like seen it on TikTok is like relating to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those weird things where like you write about such a specific thing in your life, and you write so personally to you, and then like you put it out, and without even realizing, like you've obviously like given something that people have resonated with and connected to for their own reasons. And like I'm sure that no two people have the same experience, but it's just like they can all draw from the lyrics, which it seems. But it's just like the most amazing thing as a writer to have people paying that much attention and having that much connection with the words. But yeah, it seems to really just like, it just seems to have struck a chord, and I still can't believe it. It's very strange and lovely.
Yeah, because there's been like covers from the likes of like Camila Cabello, like Tom Walker, Madison Beer. Like, that's so cool. Like, do you just like wake up one day and just see that they've done it? Like, what's your usual reaction?
I mean, it was like for the first few weeks, and it still happens now, like every day there's a new crazy thing happening. Like, and it was in that first couple of weeks, or even that was like the first 4 days, I think, maybe like the first week max, where like these covers were like surfacing. And it was just like a new thing after another. I was like, what's going on? Like, this is like reaching crazy, like new levels of crazy. But yeah, like big ones were like Camila Cabello, Madison Beer and like JP Sachs and stuff, people that you think of as being in like different universes, and then like all of a sudden they like your song, and like it's just it's very validating, and it's very affirming when people who you really respect as artists seem to connect with your music and then want to do their own version of it. It's an insane experience.
Yeah, of course. And obviously you announced yesterday that you're re-releasing it, a new version of it, like produced by Greg Kirsten. That's super exciting.
Yeah.
Like, can we expect like kind of a different sound to this one? I know you said that you wanted to keep like the raw emotion and everything, but would you say it was like quite like, what was the process behind making the new version?
And stuff, but we ended up using the original demo audio. Greg just felt like it was the most raw, and it did exactly what it needed to emotionally. So we stuck with the demo audio, but I mean, Greg's an absolute master of like subtlety, and he never goes ham, and he never like throws too much on a track, which was why we thought he'd be a great shout, because it's just one of those things where I was conscious of not taking it too far to a different path, and I want it to be a bit different, but I didn't want it to be like to lose the essence, as you were saying, like the rawness. So like he was really subtle and understated, and there were times when I was like, maybe you should add that, and he was like, no, like let's keep this like as like true to the original as possible, but just make it a bit bigger. And like, so it's like it's still not this hugely produced track, but it just has like some Greg Kirsten magic on it, which is like hilarious. But yeah, it was an absolute honor working with him. Like he's like, you know, he's Adele and stuff. Like it's insane. But yeah, a really cool guy, very chilled out, just very chill guy. It's amazing.
Sounds fun. How did you like get into sort of songwriting and like music in general, like, in the first place?
I think I've just written for like as long as I can remember. I mean, I don't remember not doing it. But I found like little clips of me when I was like 7, 8, 9, like doing little songs and yeah, having a good wee time on the guitar. I got my first guitar when I was like 7, like a little purple nylon string.
Nice.
I was a piano in the house. I know I still use the same size of guitar because I just like small guitars, but that was a cool wee guitar. But like, yeah, I just always did it, and I always performed, whether that was like on stage in like theater or like just singing songs, singing covers, singing my own songs. I remember the first song that I remember having written, I'm sure it's not the first one, but the first one that I remember was like when I was 8, and I performed it at like Inverness Music Festival, which is like this. It's more like a kind of not like a competition, but like it's kind of like Inverness Music Festival. And I played it when I was like 8 on stage, and I found the video of it. It's down. But yeah, I mean, I've always done it. And then when I was like 16, 17, I got into the kind of professional side of it and started to like gig and take it more seriously. It's always something that I was always going to do it, you know. But yeah, and I started gigging and recording, and I released my first EP. It's hilarious because I think it's last year, but it feels to me like at least 7 years ago, but it was actually a year ago. But yeah, so like my first release was like 2020, then 2021, and just like gigging away. So yeah, it's been a long time before this, but this is all like accelerated things by thousands of percent.
Definitely. So you're a student at Edinburgh Uni, is that right? Like, or you were?
Yes,
sort of.
I was slightly right now. Yeah.
Has that sort of music scene, you say you were like digging like a lot there, like the sort of like folk scene of Edinburgh, has that had like quite an influence on your like music nowadays?
Yeah, I mean, like when I went to Edinburgh, obviously it was lockdown for the while that I first went there, but like in the last year or so, last couple of years, like I've really just fallen in love with the folk scene there and gotten really into it, and like it's like one of the most magical things. I think it's like it's everything that I love about writing and performing and stuff. It's like these intimate spaces where everyone's listening, and it's just like pints around, everyone's having pints, and everyone's just like drinking, like having like just like telling stories and singing with each other, and I love that. Like that's what I live for. And like, and it also, I think it probably did influence the way I write a lot, because I mean I'm raised in a Highlands, so I think folk has always influenced me, but being so involved in the folk scenes there, it's all, I mean, like if you can grasp that room, then you can get any room, because it's like it wasn't like drunken old men like shouting and stuff, but it's the best. I just love it. Like Captain's Bar, Royal Oak Bar,
Nice.
These are like my places. And yeah, I would go there like every week with the new songs that I'd written like that week, and I would play little like those little folky storytelling tunes, and it's just it's just the best like form of music for me. It's like the way I have most fun with it. But yeah, it's definitely like it's definitely hugely influenced me, and it always will, I think.
I think that's really nice that you're like so firmly rooted in like the Highlands and Edinburgh, and just like you can like kind of hear it like through, like even like if you go on to be like international like acclaim, like the Highlands will always be there.
Oh my gosh, you can take the girl out the Highlands, but but like it's I think that folk music, and like not just Scottish folk music, but like obviously that's my experience of it, but folk music is just so about like the storytelling and the lyric and the community and the shared moment, and I just love that, and that's like exactly what I'm here for. Yeah,
so cool. Yeah, so obviously like this summer and like the past however long in your career has been like complete whirlwind for you, but like what more can we expect to come for like the rest of the year? Have you got any sort of hints or surprises or anything like up coming along?
there's a lot in the works. Obviously right now it's just like posting this new version of the song and like everything for that, so like videos for that maybe, and like obviously Complex is going to have its own life for a while. It's such early days for the song, but at the same time, like I'm always thinking about what's next, and writing and recording is like my main priority. So I think right now it's just going to get the balance of like honoring Complex and honoring that moment, and like working hard for that release, but also like getting into the studio and writing more and making more music. I've got ideas about what's happening next, and I know exactly what the next song is and stuff like that, but under wraps. But yeah, like I'm excited for what's going to happen, and obviously like beyond that, like I'm going to make a record in the next while, whatever form that takes. But yeah, I can't wait. I think it's just gonna be that balance of like taking this all in my stride and like riding the wave, but not getting so caught up in it that I lose the most important thing, which is just the writing.
So exciting.
Yeah.
And finally, obviously we're here, Student Music Network, like we're kind of aiming towards mostly students.
Frozen.
And in Cardiff Uni is currently Freshers Week, and I was just wondering if you have any like top tips from your time at Edinburgh Uni to give to the freshers of 2022.
Oh my gosh.
Put you on the spot.
I loved freshers and stuff, but I wasn't a big fan of the first part of first year, and I ended up loving uni. But I just would say to everyone, if you don't love the first semester, that's not your whole experience, and don't worry, because it's jarring. Like might be moving away, and you might be away from your friends, and you might be like, it's a lot of exhausting like social stuff. But like I didn't love the first part of uni, but I ended up having a ball overall at uni. So I would just say be very, very open to everything, and like to try to get rid of some of the like the preconceptions and prejudices you have from secondary school, because nothing matters when you're at uni. No one cares. But yeah, like it's a fresh start, exciting, but just take it all like, I wasn't gonna say that's a bad thing to say. Take it all by the balls. Is that a bad thing to say?
Yeah.
Take it all, take everything you can, but like obviously don't worry if you're like needing to take it slow, because I found it hard the first couple like months of first year. It's a lot, but like first year is also the time to have fun. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I don't know about in other places, but in Scotland I think everyone just kind of takes first year as like don't stress too much about it.
Yeah, definitely. It's like adjustment, isn't it?
Prioritize social. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, obviously I was a COVID kid as well, so like
yeah, my
second half of first year was like in strikes and in COVID, but my first half of first year was intact. But yeah.
Well, yeah, thank you so much for that advice, and thank you so much for talking to me and the Student Music Network today. I've absolutely loved it. It was so nice to meet you. Everyone, go check out Complex by Katie Gregson-MacLeod right now. I would say get your tissues ready, because it's an emotional one, and pre-save the next release of it, ready for October the 7th. Yeah, thank you so much, Katie.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Thank you.